In this video, we're going to be talking about a thing called the Pomodoro Technique. If you aren't aware of the Pomodoro Technique, it's a technique that really capitalizes on Parkinson's law. Now, Parkinson's law says that we will tend to complete a task roughly within the amount of time that we give to that task with 80% efficiency down to a pretty small margin. So let's say you're in the bathroom, you just got this new tube of toothpaste and it's like stacked totally full and you just glob a bit on, and you do that subsequently for the next few days. And before you know it, that tube of toothpaste starts getting less and less and less and less and less. As the tube of toothpaste became less and less, you took less and less toothpaste. This is the effect of Parkinson's law. When we give ourselves 3 hours to complete a task, probably going to take all 3 hours. If we give ourselves 1 hour, we're going to get way more efficient at how we're utilizing that hour. Pomodoro Technique capitalizes on this, creating structured times when you're working and times when you're taking a break. What you're going to be doing is you're essentially going to be setting up 25-minute segments that you're going to be doing work for with a 5-minute break in between each one of those segments. You have to realize that as human beings, we're fairly distractible. I say, I'm going to work for 3 hours. I don't actually work for 3 hours. I usually don't even work for an hour. They did a study recently and they found that the average American checks their email 35 to 45 times a day. But in truth, only 10 to 12 of those times would actually be necessary. The rest is just distraction. You're going to set a timer for 25 minutes. You're going to work and only work for that 25 minutes. No checking your phone, no checking your emails, no checking social media, just working on the task that you have set out. If you end up distracting yourself, you're going to go back and start the timer over again. You earn the break by getting through the full 25 minutes. We are conditioning ourselves to be able to have the resilience to overcome difficult situations. Starts to create what's called classical conditioning. If you've ever heard of Pavlov's dog before, that was classical conditioning. That 25 minutes, it's not about completing the problem. The 25 minutes is about teaching yourself that you can get into flow very quickly and that you can get out of flow very quickly. So now that you understand what that 25 minutes on looks like, we set the timer, we go to work. Regardless of what problems we face, we keep working for that 25 minutes. What happens when the alarm goes off? Regardless of where you are, you stop. If we teach ourselves that we have to keep going, what we're teaching our brain is that until we get into that flow state, we can't be productive. So when that bell rings at 25 minutes, regardless of what you're doing, regardless of how deep you are in flow, regardless of how much you're like, no, I could solve the problem, stop and go take your 5-minute break. You have to realize that your brain uses 20% of the oxygen that you put into your body. The most recent studies have found that when we focus on a task really intensely, we only have about 23 to 25 minutes. When we take that break, what we're doing is we're giving our brain the ability to start to re-oxygenate itself, to revitalize itself, and to shift what areas of the brain are activated so that we can come back to that problem-solving, logical, rational part of our brain again for the next 25 minutes. The next question is, what do we do in that 5 minutes? I'm going to be very explicit with this one. No social media. No TV, no screens. First thing we're going to talk about is breath work. Next week, you're going to learn a lot of different breath work techniques. What I'm going to give you for now is really simple. I want you to breathe in for 5 counts and out for 5 counts. That's all. It's going to help to re-oxygenate your brain. The second thing is I want you to get up and move around. Standing up and taking a bit of a walk. Doing your breathing 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out as you take that walk. And here's the main key. Let go of thinking about the problem. When you sit down for the next 25 minutes, then you can do that. That's what the 25 minutes are for. This 5 minutes is for you to break and shift your brain radically to something totally different. If you start to learn how to do that, you will be able to segment your work and your life into the balance that you've been looking for all of this time. Once you get done with that next 25 minutes, you take another 5-minute break. Now here's where the fun comes in. What we want to do is we want to do 2 to 3 sets of 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. And then on your next set of 25, you're going to take a 15-minute break. And during this 15-minute break, it's going to be a little bit different. For those 15 minutes, I want you to do something that's very restful for you. That's not going to be social media. That's not going to be looking at TV. It could be a little bit of meditation. It could be listening to music, something that invigorates you in a way that is vastly different than what you're working on problem-wise. So now that you understand the Pomodoro Technique, let's talk in the next video about how to access flow state instantaneously. So I'll see you in the next video.